beat the Marlins. They win their 4th consecutive series. Hyeseong Kim is here to stay. Freddie Freeman's MVP campaign is on. Solid start from Knack. Matt Sauer came in, and he pitched well. Also, a little bad news on the injury front on Evan Phillips. We've got the latest on that. All that more coming up next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Tommy Tank strikes again, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Gibby! Meet Freddie! Tommy sends one in the air. The other way. Back it goes! Gone! One-of-a-kind player! One-of-a-kind season!
What is up, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers get the dub. They beat the Marlins by a final score of 10-1. Their 4th straight series win. They're probably in the clubhouse right now taking some tequila shots as they do to celebrate series wins. They improved to 25-12 on the year. They're a game up with the Padres in the National League West, and they have the best record in baseball, on pace for 109 wins on the season. The story of today's game is about a couple of different guys. You could talk about Knack, who had a really solid start. Knack coming up, making that start for the Dodgers, giving them exactly what they needed in this one. I thought he really looked a lot better than the Knack that we saw in his first couple of starts this season. He went 5+ innings, gave up 4 hits, had 5 strikeouts, a walk, 75 pitches, but no runs. But it wasn't Knack who I was most impressed with on the mound today. It was Matt Sauer. Matt Sauer, he gets called up. He was with the team. There was some talk that it could be just a taxi squad situation, that he wasn't going to be used. But with Evan Phillips, who went to the IL, he comes in and he goes there in a big spot there in the 6th inning after Knack had given up 2 singles, back-to-back base hits. Sauer comes in. He gets Wagaman to ground to a 4-6-3 double play, and then he gets the out, and then he gets the Dodgers out of that inning. It was a tight game, not a lot of runs early. So I thought Matt Sauer, everyone's going to talk about Kim and Freddie and all the rest of these Dodgers today, and rightfully so, but I definitely want to show Matt Sauer some love right at the top of the show. I thought he was great today. He was exactly what the Dodgers needed, with Bonda not available, Tanner Scott not available. Tanner Scott and the rest of this Dodgers bullpen, they have been just heavily taxed last couple of games. So for him to come in and pitch the way he did, I thought it was massive. Matt Sauer, he gets a Dodgers dog of the game too. He went 4 innings, kind of put a sour taste in my mouth to see that bad defense at the end that led to a run there. But he went 4 innings, gave up a hit, no runs because of the error on Max Muncy, then 4 strikeouts and a walk through 42 pitches. So that was great to see. And I think Sauer is someone who could really, really help this team. But on the offensive side, we have to start with Freddie Freeman. And Freddie Freeman is getting very close to qualifying for the leaderboards. He missed 11 games this season, so he's not qualifying right now, but he's a handful of plate appearances away from qualifying from that leaderboard. And the second he does, he is right there in the MVP conversation. Let's start the campaign today. MV free. Say it with me. He was outstanding once again. He absolutely owns the Miami Marlins. Absolutely owns the Miami Marlins. And today was another example of just that. Top of the 6th inning, it's a 0-0 game. Shohei Ohtani gets a 1-out triple. Mookie Betts walks. And then with runners on the corners and 1 out, of course, Freddie Freeman, the professional hitter that he is going to come through with an RBI base hit.
Gibson's 0-1 pitch. Freddie takes it the other way for a base hit. The Dodgers MVP triumvirate starts the scoring in the 6th. 1-0 Dodgers.
Come on, Steven Nelson. Say MV3. I know you watch this show. MV3, Dodgers Nation, Dodgers Dugout postgame show original right there. Drop that. But the Dodgers, they get a run on 2 hits there. And then it was all about the top of the 7th inning for LA. And I want to give Dave Roberts credit for a couple of moves he made tonight. That was going out there and taking the ball from Landon Knack when he gave a back-to-back singles and going Matt Sauer there in the 6th. And then in the 7th inning, after Max Muncy ground out for the first out, he goes for Miguel Rojas pinch hitting for Michael Conforto. So that's the second time in less than a week that Dave Roberts has pinch hit for Michael Conforto with a left-handed pitcher on the mound. Last time it led to a home run for Miguel Rojas against the Braves. But in this case, there were some chess moves. There was some gamesmanship. There was some managing being done by Dave Roberts and Clayton McCullough. And in this managerial move, Clayton McCullough, he ends up going to Lake Bakar. And then Dave Roberts, his move back was to go with James Outman. He counters with James Outman. That sets him up for the platoon advantage, the lefty versus a righty. And then James Outman, who really struggled yesterday, 3 strikeouts, first game since last season at the big league level, really getting those at-bats like he did, and it did not look good for him. And then James Outman, he starts that inning by drawing that 5-pitch walk. And we've talked all about how this team needs to improve at the bottom of the lineup. And today, give the bottom of the lineup credit for sparking this big inning. James Outman, he draws the 1-out walk. And then Kike Hernandez, he follows that up with a single. And then how about Hyeseong Kim? At this point, it's just a one-run game. The Dodgers up a run there. Hyeseong Kim with an opportunity with runners aboard, and Hyeseong Kim has been a hit machine. He comes through again with an RBI single, and that put the Dodgers up 2-0.
That's a base hit to right. Green light for James Outman. The throw home from Sanchez. The play at the plate. Not in time.
So it's not just the walk, it was the base running. Great base running there by James Outman to score from second, to slide and have his hand cross the outer part of the plate to get in there. It was a bang-bang close play, and he does a fantastic job with the speed, with the aggressive base running, a former football player up north. And look, got to give love to James Outman during that stretch. And then couple batters later, after a Shohei Ohtani intentional walk to get to Mookie Betts, Mookie, he walks to load the bases, and that sets up Freddie Freeman with the bases juiced. And Freddie Freeman, a fantastic at-bat. He comes through, and it's his first triple of the season.
The 2-2 pitch to Freeman. That's to right center field. Freddie Freeman comes through again, as he always seems to do. 1 run is in. Here's 2. Mookie comes home. Freddie Freeman clears the bases with a triple.
A bases clearing triple for Freddie Freeman. That put the Dodgers up 6-0. Then Andy Pages, he singled after that. That scored Freddie to make it 7-0. The Dodgers explode a 6-run inning on 4 hits there in the 7th. But how about Freddie Freeman? This is someone that you have to immediately enter into the MVP conversation, because after today, if you look at Freddie's numbers so far this season, we are talking best start to a season for him as a Dodger. He's hitting .362 with a .435 on base, slugging .713. He is at a 211 weighted runs created plus. So he's 111% above league average. He's basically 2 players out there, 8 home runs, 7 doubles, a triple, and 29 RBIs. Thank you every day to the Atlanta Braves for giving the Dodgers Freddie Freeman. He was outstanding once again, and they better erect a statue in Miami for Freddie Freeman. After this series, his numbers against the Marlins, he's hitting .323 with 42 home runs, 140 RBIs in 216 games against the Fish. Today went 3 for 4 with a triple, had 4 RBIs today. Freddie Freeman is baseball's version of fine wine. He's getting better and better with age. I see some comments. Got Jose saying, Freddie. Balaukes says, I might be nice in the chat today. It was definitely a big-time win and a good feel-good win because of how many guys had success. Joseph H. D-Mac, can you congrats on Korean? I don't want to say congrats, and I say yobaseo, though. And, I'll try to up my Korean. Big Worm says, does D-Mac have an OnlyFans? Now, you're just begging for a bro with that, and you're going to get a bruh.
Bruh.
But no, I don't have an OnlyFans, but I do have Super Chat. So if you want to Super Chat, pretty much the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, just absolutely phenomenal by Freddie Freeman. The bottom of the lineup coming through in that inning in a big spot. And you got to talk about Hyeseong Kim. Hyeseong Kim is going to make it impossible for the Dodgers to send him back down if he continues to hit like he's hitting. Another hit for Kim, a multi-hit game today, and we're talking about big base hits. I mean, when he got his hit there in the 7th inning, the Dodgers had just a 1-0 lead. And then he's able to get a hit later in the game that really just shows you what he's capable of. In the 8th inning, he got a single too, and then a couple batters later, Shohei Ohtani was at the plate. He flied out to center, but just being on base, it was Shohei at the plate. We have not seen enough of that this season. Hyeseong Kim, he's just looked outstanding. He's looked comfortable. And today, batting the bottom of the lineup, he goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. So far in his big league career, he's made 3 starts. And yes, that's an extremely, extremely small sample size. But in 12 plate appearances, he has 5 hits. He has 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, hitting .417, a 139 weighted runs created plus. He was making easy throws there in the middle of the diamond at second base. Today, he did get a little turned around in center field, and there was a little communication blunder between him and Andy Pages, and Miguel Rojas kind of took them aside in between innings and kind of let them know, okay, you got to have a system down, so they figured that out. I'm not worried about it. He's a smart, high IQ baseball player, and he's got a hit in every single game that he started. He has 5 hits in 3 games. 5 hits in 3 games. I mean, just to put that into context, Michael Conforto has 10 hits in his last 28 games. So I think that I've seen everything that I needed to see because you got enough offense at the top to live through the experiment with Hyeseong Kim. Whether he falls off a cliff, goes onto a big slump, that's possible. But you like what you've seen so far because it's not just one thing. It's a multitude of different things that he brings to the table. He brings defense, he brings base running, and he has the ability to get on base. He's putting the ball in play. That's something that this Dodgers offense has lacked. And the most impressive thing of any of his stats so far is he struck out 1 time. He's only gone down swinging once in 12 plate appearances. He had a 24% strikeout rate down in AAA, and that was something that I was concerned about. But so far, he's not gone down swinging. I don't see how you could take Hyeseong Kim out off this active roster. I just don't see how you could do it because here's the thing. You got dudes that can slug, right? You got the boppers at the top of the lineup. You've got Mookie and Freddie and Shohei and Teoscar is going to be back and Will Smith, and you got dudes that can hit out of the park. Having a little bit of a different dynamic in your offense as far as a guy that can just put his bat to ball and get you singles and get on base, you can live with that when you got guys that can take care of the slug. So at this point, look, even when Tommy Edman's back, Tommy Edman at second, Hyeseong Kim in center. Edman in center, Hyeseong Kim at second base, Pages in left, Teoscar in right when everyone's healthy. If this is the direction that it's going to go in. I still think that Conforto, he had some hard hit balls today, was hitting the ball harder. Want to give him some credit for that, but just the results have not been there. So I think that the Dodgers really made a really good decision in having this be his first series. I mean, it's Miami. It's afternoon games during the week. It's a very soft landing spot for Kim. It's a very soft landing spot for Kim. So I think that was something that was really good for him. But I will say, I mean, look, Michael Conforto, you're starting to see some signs. In the second inning, his fly out, a 108.5 exit velocity, had a 610 expected batting average. So he is starting to hit the ball harder. You just hope that he starts to see the results. But hey, Kim's exciting, man. Kim's sanity is here. Doesn't skip leg days. Hustles. I think he's just been a breath of fresh air. I think he's been a shot in the arm to this Dodgers team. You've heard people say Shohei's little brother, just kind of being mentored by these guys. And look, Dave Roberts said himself, everyone loves Hyeseong Kim, and I think that includes Dodgers fans right now. Absolutely, Hyeseong Kim, he stays, and I can't wait to see the ovation he gets at Dodger Stadium next week against the Oakland A's. Or wait a minute, the Sacramento A's. Oh, wait a minute, the Las Vegas A's, whatever the heck they're called now. But another big takeaway from today was James Outman, man. You got to feel great about James Outman for him to have the game he had today after yesterday, the strikeouts, kind of misplayed a ball in center, just kind of look on his face, didn't look very happy about the way things were going. For James Outman, after striking out in the previous inning in the 8th, he gets an at-bat in the 9th after back-to-back singles from Pages and Muncy. He sees a four-seam fastball out over the plate, and he crushed it 419 feet for his first bomb of the season. James hit one out. Man.
Swing work. Really just more sequencing in his swing as he charges up to straightaway center field. Myers back. He's at the wall. It's out of here.
Man, there's some exhale right there. Atta baby.
So, yeah, there is some exhale right there. And who knows what's going to happen for James Outman for the rest of the way. He's still kind of lower on the pecking order right now. But still, I mean, he's another guy where he's doing that. I mean, his defense is above average. I mean, he's got to be looked at as, hey, if we add Outman to center field and have Pages in left and Teoscar in right and Edman at second, you're seeing improved defense across the board. And then if Hyeseong Kim does slump and Outman hits in his opportunities, maybe you can have that. You want to have guys having success. I've seen people, raise his trade value and things like that. Sure, you want everyone to be having success, and he did just that today. Great to see him get that bomb. Muncy got a base hit before that. Pages continues to hit as well. So that definitely was an encouraging sign. But a great win for the Dodgers on the road. I think you got to give Landon Knack a ton of credit. I mean, through 79 pitches, and Dave Roberts comes and gets the ball and goes to Matt Sauer. So I give Landon Knack and Matt Sauer, they're my co-Dodger dogs of the game.
Dodger dog of the game.
And the reason is because you needed to take some stress off the bullpen. The bullpen has been overworked. Not a lot of guys available. The Dodgers, they repaid the pitchers for their performance with that 6-run rally there in the 7th inning. So, yeah, and give a lot of credit for Dave Roberts. Going to Sauer, going to Outman, just doing the moves that he made tonight in Miami. I thought that was massive. And, hey, you got to give a lot of credit to this Dodgers team. Landon Knack gets the win, 5+ innings of work, 5 strikeouts, 4 hits, 1 walk. Sauer kind of bailed him out. And then Matt Sauer, he gets the save, right? He went over 3 innings. Sauer went 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 unearned run, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk. The Dodgers will take off to Arizona. A happy flight to Arizona with Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound facing Brandon Pfaadt. Thursday, a 6:40 p.m. Pacific start. All right, guys, so let's open it up. Welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live, #1 Dodgers post-game show on YouTube. Great win for the Dodgers. We got James hit that Outman from Beerusama. BC says Dodgers on pace for 110 wins. Ed Sabatka, Dodgers are all positive. Jose Aguirre out. Mantani. Okay, I like that. David Guzman. Sucks Dodgers lost yesterday because the Padres got their butts kicked by the Yankees. I hope the Yankees kick their ass again. Jeremy Buckley. Nick Knack, Patty Whack. Give the Marlins a Dodgers bone. I like that. A little comment of the show. I like that. Ryman dropping some bars on us. Rom 31-317. Babe Ruth and who else? Showtime Ohtani. Bilal K. If Kershaw, May, Miller, Knack, or whatever pitcher that we have gives up no runs through 4 innings, I'll be good with things. A way to go, Landon Knack. Yeah, look, I mean, the thing about Landon Knack, go out there, throw strikes. Go out there and just kind of gut through it. But, I mean, he gave you 5 innings, man. 5 innings of no-run ball. Worked his way into the 6th. The fastball, I thought, had decent command until late in his start. He was working the curveball, changeup, and slider in there as he does. So that's definitely a big kudos to him. Now, wasn't all good news for the Dodgers. Evan Phillips was placed on the 15-day IL today with right forearm tightness. Now, Phillips has been out for a long stretch at this point. He missed the first 21 games of the season. He was on the IL with a right rotator cuff strain that he had in his shoulder, and he suffered that back during the 2024 postseason. Didn't pitch in the World Series, and he was really good since returning. He hadn't given up a run in his first 7 games. He had 6 strikeouts and 2 walks in 5 2/3 innings. He got the save on Monday's win, had a scoreless 9th inning, but he's on the IL, and that's why Matt Sauer, he rejoined the team, because Sauer was optioned to AAA on April 30th, so the only way that he could rejoin the squad would have been if there was an injured pitcher. Turned out it was Evan Phillips who was that injured pitcher. So hopefully this is nothing serious. You hate to hear forearm tightness. Just kind of watching him in the clubhouse, listening to the things that he's saying, it does kind of look like, hey, there are concerns in his eyes. Because, I mean, pitchers, they get injured, right? And he's dealt with injuries for the last couple of seasons. So I hate to see that. You got Kopech on the mend. He's working his way back. But I would be shocked if the Dodgers bullpen stays intact for this whole season. I mean, we've said it before, I'll say it again. It does feel like a season of Squid Game every year where you're losing bodies, losing guys every week, and guys just go down. I mean, that's just the nature. I mean, 40% of pitchers are getting injured. 50% are getting injured in Major League Baseball. So the odds will tell you this is not a problem that's exclusive to the Dodgers, but it's a Dodgers problem that they're dealing with if you're all in on this season. So, look, I know the Dodgers are going to add a bullpen piece. It's just a matter of who's available, how big do they go. But the early injuries, it's concerning for sure. Evan Phillips, he's your high leverage guy, one of them when he's right. But let me know. You concerned about that? All right, so let's step into the box. Check out the box score for today. You guys had me rolling early on the show today. You guys, I mean, you guys are out of pocket with some of the things you were saying. Michael can 0 for 4. Michael can 0 for 4. Come on now. Show some respect. Show some respect to your beloved Dodgers. Jose Aguirre says, bring back Honeywell. Please no Joe Kelly. Phillips missed the World Series too. Bring back Joe Kelly. Bring back Brent Honeywell. All you guys want to see Brent Honeywell and Joe Kelly. Well, Joe Kelly said he's only going to come back if it's to pitch for the Dodgers. So, I mean, that could open up. I think that's what he's waiting on. Brent Honeywell could be waiting on that as well, too. So, you know they're going to pick up guys. You know that they're going to have to make some additions just because the statistics show that you're going to have to add some pieces. But it was a positive day for most of the Dodgers, but let's take a look at the box score here. Shohei Ohtani goes 1 for 2, had the triple that set up the Freddie Freeman RBI early in the game. Mookie Betts goes 0 for 3 with 2 walks and a strikeout. Freddie, 3 for 4, 4 ribbies. Chris Taylor pinch hit for him later. He went 0 for 1, had a strikeout. Andy Paz goes 2 for 5 with a RBI and a strikeout. Muncy goes 1 for 5, had a base hit in the 9th, had 2 strikeouts. Conforto 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Rojas was going to bat, and then they pulled the switcheroo on him, and Dave elected to go with Outman, turned into the walk, so that was a good move. Then James Outman, he pinch hits for Rojas, and he goes 1 for 2, had 3 RBIs with his first home run of the season, had the walk and the strikeout. Kike, nice to see Kike have a 2-hit game. He had 2 base hits. He had a big hit there that was a part of the rally in the 7th, so nice to see him have a hit, have a couple of hits, and play multiple positions. That's the best version of Kike Hernandez. Then Hyeseong Kim, we talked about earlier, a 2-hit game, hitting .417 through 3 games. And then Austin Barnes goes 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. The Dodgers, they had a little hit parade, 12 hits tonight in Miami. The offense, they absolutely carried. Okay, guys, couple more here on the Dodgers Dugout, Dodgers Nation post-game show here, live on YouTube. Okay, we got bring back Mariachi Joe. So do you guys all want to see Joe Kelly back? I mean, look, he's dealt with injuries. He's a guy that has his injury issues as well. No one's going to say no to Joe Kelly. I mean, they have not taken down the Joe Kelly mural at Dodger Stadium at the top deck, so there's that. Last season with the Dodgers, though, I mean, he wasn't really good. I mean, in 32 innings, had a 4.78 ERA, had an 82 ERA plus. The strikeouts were down significantly, but who knows? I mean, he's still throwing. If he's still throwing 98, 99, 100, I mean, if the Dodgers suffer a handful of injuries, I wouldn't say no to Joe Kelly. I mean, he's Joe Kelly, man. Who's going to say no to Mr. Pouty Face, right? As far as Brent Honeywell, he's a guy that is a little different situation because a little younger. I'm sure he wants to get a role out there as well. And you got a two-factor in guys that don't have options. The thing about Joe Kelly is Joe Kelly, you don't have the options for him, so he doesn't kind of fit what they're kind of looking for, I think, for that kind of role, unless, like I said, they suffer a ton of injuries, and that's kind of where they're at with that. I mean, you want these guys to stay healthy. Is it realistic for all of them? No, but they're dealing with it early on. But, yeah, no options for Joe Kelly. And then if you look at Brent Honeywell, he was solid for sure. I think that his mystique and the fear, the turtleneck and the show chain and the perm and the mullet and the screwball, all that stuff played into, and just him just eating it there in Game 4, throwing those 50 pitches and wearing that loss so the Dodgers could have a collection of arms to use in Game 5 in the clincher. Absolutely, that was massive. But, I mean, it kind of outplays his performance. He's another guy that doesn't have options either. But there's still a ways away. I mean, we're not to the point where you're kind of doing desperate purchases there, right? You're definitely trying to get the guys you have healthy, and you're going to try to see where that ends. BC Taylor, 42% K rate, OPS in the 400s. Bilal K, I'm not overreacting. HSK is a true leadoff hitter. He's a perfect bat in the one spot. Now every home run by Shohei or whoever gets on is at least 2 runs. A great take, Bilal K. Also, too, a walk for Kim, a base hit for Kim. If it's not a stolen base, it's a first to third situation. It's a scoring from first on a double situation. So there's all those little details and advantages that you have when you're a fast base runner like Hyeseong Kim. So look, the key for him is keep showing him you can hit, okay? Avoid 0 for 4s. Avoid 0 for 5s. Put the ball in play. He's getting his opportunity, right? And obviously you want Tommy Edman to stay healthy. Obviously you want this team at full strength. But one of the silver linings in those is that, hey, you can evaluate other guys and see what they have. And so far, Hyeseong Kim has more than made the most of his early opportunities. Kim's sanity is here. Kim is him. Let's do it. What is the A18 LAR Confriedmano? Not sure what that is. Ramen 31317. Freeman is giving Ohtani a run for his NL MVP. That's for sure. Look, I mean, the thing that if Freeman hits like this and Shohei doesn't pitch a lot, then you could make the case that it's Freddie Freeman, just because I think the Dodgers are going to finish with the best record in the National League, possibly the best record in baseball. I think you would have to feel good about the prospect of that happening, considering they haven't even played their best baseball and they're on pace for 109, 110 wins. But if Shohei pitches at least 10 starts, goes 10 starts, and the numbers are close, it's Freddie Freeman's to lose. It's going to be Shohei Ohtani, and Freddie Freeman will lose that, right? And they could split some votes as well. So it's still early for MVP talk, but man, Freddie Freeman, are you kidding me? Just hotter than the devil's armpit to start the year. Just absolutely incredible to see what he's done at the plate. Just one of the best pure hitters I've ever seen. He's the active hits leader in Major League Baseball. And, yeah, he's great. Mr. Classic, Mariachi Joe for only 1 inning. Roman, are you kidding me? Honeywell sucked. Yeah, Honeywell's not coming back. I mean, that would be breaking case of an emergency for sure. Diego Ortiz, I need an apology from all the Dodgers fans who went for Andy Paz's head. Go give him your apology. Sports Cards, Report Cards, 199. Freddie Freeman loves fishing in Miami. Yeah, I mean, they need to. Hey, Freddie Freeman needs a statue in Miami. He does. That is his second home right there. And against the Marlins, he's just been absolutely dominant. I mean, 42 home runs against Miami. That's more than any team in the history of Major League Baseball. Roy Estrada, Diego Ortiz. When players are not performing, Dodgers fans will call them out. When players perform, they get praised. You comment, is it okay, these guys going at it. Look, I mean, you're always going to ride the highs and lows. Look, baseball is a sport where it's 6-7 months of you're miserable because of a baseball team, whether it's injuries, wins, or losses, a lot of ups and downs in this sport, and that's what you love about it, right? I mean, they play every day pretty much. Claudia 11 says, I want quads like HSK. What do I need to do? Hey, man, I'll find out. I'll ask the Quadzilla what he does. I'm actually curious. I really want to know what his routine is. I mean, Zaire Hope can squat 800 pounds. I want to see Hyeseong Kim have a little squat off with Zaire Hope. Bilal K, absolutely. Some more down below. I don't mind a hitless day. Everyone has a hitless day sometimes. BL Boy, D-Mac. All last August and September, we heard about the depth and the pitcher injury study that was promised in the offseason. Did they blow it off after the World Series win? I've heard nothing about it. So Andrew Friedman actually did talk to us about this during spring training, and they did a very in-depth dive. They looked at every single thing you could possibly look at, from rest, in between starts, to not rushing guys back, and they can do all the research they want, and clearly they're committed to a 6-man rotation because of Roki, because of Yamamoto, getting them as much rest as you can. You can't hold them to a college routine where you're getting one start a week forever just because you're in a stretch right now, right, where you're playing 19 games in 20 days, and then the postseason, you have to pitch on a quicker turnaround. We saw that last year. I mean, Yamamoto last year pitched 11 times on 5 days rest, so he can definitely go, but I think that there's the arm angles that impact this, and there's a lot of information on that. We can do a deep dive on that as well. But look, when you have pitchers that throw the hardest and have the highest spin rates, those are the ones that win in baseball. Those are the ones that are most effective, and the Dodgers have more of those guys than more teams out there, right? Those are the pitchers that have a higher susceptibility to injuries. But they did a lot of research. They really did, and I'm hoping to get Andrew Friedman on pretty soon, and we'll kind of discuss that, kind of what was the biggest takeaway from that. But here we go. We got y'all didn't block Diego. Okay, who do you guys want me to block? I can have a block party tonight. Just let me know down below. Couple more comments, guys. By the way, if you didn't watch the show, we did a Dugout Live right before the show. Lots of stuff in there. Had the mailbag. Talked about Murakami as a possibility for the Dodgers, guys like that. So you can go back and watch that as well. Couple more here. We got, don't forget the happy like button. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Hit that like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. We've got our little argument down below in the comments section. The MV3 HSK got some stallion legs. He certainly does, man. My man does not skip leg day, man. His quads have quads, and his quads are bigger than most people's quads. I mean, he's a very, very strong dude. Tree trunks down there. But all right, guys. So like I said, trying to hit every single post-game show as much as we possibly can. Go back and watch Dodgers Dugout Live tomorrow. Gonna have Jose Mota on the show to talk about the Los Angeles Dodgers and the run they're on. They won their 4th consecutive series, best record in Major League Baseball. They take 2 of 3 from the Marlins. They win today 10-1, 25-12 on the year. Your Dodgers are starting to look more like the Dodgers that we hoped for. Even without Teoscar Hernandez, you got Shohei and Freddie really, really going on a tear, and this offense exploding for 10 runs in a really, really solid day from the pitching side. The win goes to Landon Knack. He's 2-0 on the year. Matt Sauer gets the save. The Dodgers get the dub. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Dodgers Nation postgame show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button for your boys in blue. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Tommy Tank strikes again, and the Dodgers lead 3-0.